All right, and we are now live, running the GO train with its Bombardier cars. All Athearn, of course. Anyway, we're gonna get some power going here, and hopefully some people will join in soon enough. I'm gonna set the chat to live chat as to try to not miss anybody's messages. Yeah, Angry Rail Fan, welcome. How are you? Infinite Sky Gamer, hello. Char Pop, welcome. Evan Ronnie, Railfan Evan, Leatherface123, SP Productions, Trainstorm, Pear Marquette Productions, Liam O, Casey Hudson, Preston Hayon. Of course, that just disconnected. It was working fine before the stream. Fire Truck Kid 756, Backwards and Forwards, Song, Silverton Productions, Jonathan's Gaming, Cheyenne Danback. I don't think I can pronounce that name. David Lies. How are we doing today? I'm well. How are you? Lennon Newman. Matteo Fernandez. Azar C. I just realized that's kind of close to the track there. Let me just move that over. Phoenix Smith. How are you? Brody McFloaty. Hello. Connor Cully. Welcome. That one guy, that's an interesting name. Stupid Junk Videos, hello. Robin Slav, how are you? Jason Hobbs, greetings from Indiana. Oh, welcome. Railfan Noah 06, hi once again. Yeah, welcome back. BC Railfan, hello. We'll get this going here. Hey, SMT, it's been a while since I've been able to catch a stream. Well, welcome back, Steam Fanatic. DJ's Awesome Bricks, how are you? Oh, pretty good. Pretty good, thank you. Anyway, Ottawa Model Railfan, welcome, how are you? I just lost a scale trains unit. I'm sorry to hear about that. Currently editing my very first review, MTH HO scale Berkshire. Oh, good for you. I have an old River Rossi Dreyfus Hudson. How much do you charge for a restoration? I'm not currently restoring anything for people. I've just got a few too many at the moment. In fact, I just got 4 more thanks to my last trip to Larkspur. Yeah, I'm probably not going to be doing one of those for a while, unfortunately. Can you run a steam locomotive? Yeah, we can run one of those. Maybe run it with some different cars. These were working fine. I don't know if the track maybe got loose or something there, but for some reason they're disconnecting on that corner again, which is weird. I thought I had that sorted. Yeah, what can you do? Can you run the big boy or the BNSF? Well, somebody did request to run a steam engine, so maybe we can do 2 at once, and we'll run the big boy, which is a steam engine. And, yeah, somebody wanted the big boy, so we'll fill both requests at once. Oh, that was interesting. Phoenix Smith, so depending on how world events turn out, I might be heading to Smith Falls and Ottawa next year. Oh, that's awesome. Let me know. Maybe I can tour you around Ottawa or something. Can you run a DCC loco soon? Yeah, sure. It's not very often people ask for specific DCC pieces of equipment. How many locomotives do you run at? Can you run at once? It depends on a lot of things. I can't think of an exact limit per se, but the thing is that this controller, there's only so much power something like this can put out. But if you had a ton of really efficient engines, you could run a ton of engines on that controller. But for what I'm operating, I wouldn't put too many on it, because obviously the more you put on it, the more strain is on the controller, and it's just not great for it, especially if you're running 3 old Athearn Blue Box engines that are each drawing 1/4 of an amp. Well, it doesn't take close until you're drawing about an amp of power, which is... that can be pretty tough on your controller. Can you run your DCC GP38 or GP48? Sorry, I don't know my locos. Oh, not to worry about that. I don't really know mine that well either. I think you're talking about the Indiana one. I can certainly run it. We'll run the big boy first, though. Anyway, we'll get these hooked up behind the Loco there. And I guess we can already run these for the next one. Yes, that's the one I'm talking about. Okay, great. You run the TGV after the big boy. We'll run the Indiana Locomotive, and then after we can run the TGV. Not had much luck with couplers this evening. Let's try that again. Oh, Tyler Snyder. Hey, how are you? I'm well. How are you? Thank you so much for the super chat. Serenity. Anyway, let's give this thing some power. Do any of your locos have smoke come out the top? I have locomotives that once had that feature. Most of them, the elements have burnt out, or I've disabled them because the thing is, those elements can actually damage the plastic if you're not careful. So you have to watch it. Smoke fluid damages them too. Oh god, you have to be smoke units and stuff like that. It's really cool, but I would never use it with an expensive engine. SMT is the only person in this live stream that's seen my custom Polar Express. Silverton super chat, yeah. Okay, I don't know what's going on with this engine. I think it's time we swap it out for a DCC diesel. Completely kicked out. It's weird considering this engine probably has more contact area than about all my other locos. Can you run a Scott class locomotive? What's a Scott class? Are you talking about a Flying Scotsman? There we go. We'll get this thing all rigged up on the track here in some sort of an Atlas engine, I think it is. And, that's interesting. I don't know if this is maybe the problem. But in any case, we'll try it out, and if it gives us any issues, we'll just swap it out for something else. Nice. Do Canadians actually like maple? Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I myself, a Canadian, am quite a fan of maple syrup. On Canada Day, I usually have a shot glass of the stuff. Just, you know, gotta show your pride for the country. And it's delicious, maple syrup. Oh. It's almost as good as Canadian bacon, which, as many people will possibly not know, is female bacon. Can you run that new engine that's all black with the running boards? Or that or the Hiawatha? I don't know which one you're referring to. I can run the Hiawatha, though. Run the TGV. That's up next. Royal Scot locomotive, to be precise. I don't know what a Royal Scot is, so I can't run that. How much money do you think has been spent overall on the layout and trains? I have no idea what that number would be. It's especially hard to value because a lot of the stuff I've bought is used. But I don't know. I mean, obviously the price is important, but it's what makes you happy, right? Railfan and Railroad Productions, welcome. NEC for life. Hi from New Jersey. Can you run some of your side track? Also, have you ever smelled the flavored smoke fluid? Flavored smoke fluid? What's that? Are people putting vape juice in their locos now? Thank you, Robin Slav, for the super chat. What's the difference between Canadian bacon and regular bacon? Canadian bacon comes from Canada. Haha, yeah. All of my model train stuff was trashed in a semi-trailer by hobos. Hey, SMT, always loved the stream, and yes, vanilla scented smoke fluid is the best. Is this stuff manufacturers are actually selling now? I haven't heard of this. Do you have a DCC steam locomotive? Just wondering. I've got one of those. Yes. Zoo Tycoon Lord, hello from Maine. Oh, we've got a Mainer up here. Well, welcome. Evening SMT, can you run your Southern Pacific 4449 with the coaches? Unfortunately, I can't run the 4449. I do apologize. I really wish I could. It's probably one of my favorite steam locomotives, but the one I have has way too many problems, and I'm going to end up trashing the motor. Gonna have to get that one sorted out, because it's for an engine that doesn't run, it seems to get requested an awful lot. Hello SMT, love your streams, keep up the great work, thank you. Can you run the CN 70-ton switcher? I was just driving a real 70-ton switcher in Tottenham, Ontario yesterday. If you're talking about the Bachmann one, unfortunately I can't run that one either, because, well, is this the 70-ton? I don't know. If it's that one, I can't, because I dropped it and it broke. So I need to get that one sorted out. Anyway, I think we're going to run the TGV now. I think it's time to get something a little bit faster going. First, we're going to do some accurate horns for approaching a crossing. There we go, keeping it real on the SMT Mainline Railroad. Run some O-scale trains. That's another... I'm going to have to make a to-do list of things I need to fix on this layout. I don't know, all the stuff that's getting requested. It seems to be the same thing. Yeah, that's also broken. Oh yeah, I broke that a few months ago or something. I do a lot of repairs down here, I promise. But I also tend to be a bit of a klutz and break a lot of stuff down here. Always by accident, though. There we are. Okay, BNSF. We can. I'll try to get around other requests, but have to do them as order as best I can. And next up is the TGV, of course. Ever thought about getting a Japanese train to add to your collection? Yes, I have. I think getting one of those Japanese high-speed bullet trains would be a nice addition. How's the Hershey factory project going? Well, there hasn't really been a whole lot of progress, but as things have been going in the rest of the world, I have a feeling I'm going to have a lot of time on my hands in a not-so-distant time to get around to working on it. So I'm just going to kind of leave it, and I suspect I'll be able to. Although I still have a deadline to get that thing done in April of 2021, which is getting closer and closer. I still have a decent amount of stuff to get done on it, but luckily I took care of a fair amount a couple months ago. For those who don't know, eBay is a gold mine for vintage and cheap model trains using an Athearn Blue Box and F unit for around $5. Casey, I'm going to have to disagree with you there. eBay is a mine. If you want to find a ton of engines, you'll find them there, but it is not a good price point. I mean, it's not to say you don't ever get good deals on eBay, but most of the time it's way over the market value. I've never seen a Blue Box engine going for $5, especially when you factor in shipping. And most eBay sellers, in my experience, charge, I don't know, they're shipping them by rocket or something, because they charge like $20 for shipping, so it can kind of ruin any deal in my opinion. But like I said, sometimes you make off lucky, but it's rare. SMT, we like to keep it realistic here. SMT also runs Amtrak engine with freight cars. Did I say realistic, or was it, maybe I did say realistic. I don't know. I thought I had said something else. Keeping it real. I guess that's kind of the same thing. Hello from Manitoba. Welcome. Kijiji is a gold mine recently. I've seen people giving trains away for free on Kijiji, and since you pick them up yourself, if you just as long as you take fuel into account, it's certainly a lot cheaper than shipping. So yeah, I would say Kijiji is pretty good. Do you have a Challenger? I do not have a Challenger. Got a big boy, though. MTH makes scented smoke in vanilla. It's really good smelling. Well, good for MTH. At least they did something good. I mean, the smell of model train smoke, it's quite nostalgic, but I don't think it's something everybody likes. So, I don't know, getting some vanilla, that might add a new layer of culture down here. Actually, back in November 2019, I went to an open house and there were some Athearn Blue Box engines for $5. You can find Athearn Blue Box engines for $5. I'm just talking about on eBay. I've never seen one going for $5 on eBay, and if it was going for $5 on eBay, I suspect it would be because it had a lot of problems or something. It's not very common for Athearn Blue Boxes too, but I mean, if somebody trashes an engine, they're not going to be selling it for much. Various vintage trains in HO scale are found in Kijiji and are cheaper than they are than on eBay. Yeah, I would agree with that. If there was an inspection train for sale, I think it would cost more dollars, more British pounds than euros, more US dollars and dollars. Phoenix Smith, you're almost at 18K subscribers. I can't believe it. It just hit 17.9K about an hour ago. Pretty wild. Auto Model Rail Fan, how's the boat coming along? It's okay. Unfortunately, I was doing a test. Some friend of mine lent me a compression tester so I could see what the compression was on each cylinder. And I tested the first two, and they came back at 115 PSI, so I was like, okay, that seems okay. I tested the next one, it was 125, and I was like, oh, this thing's passing its compression test with flying colors. And then the last cylinder, I hooked it up, and it came back as 80, and I was like, oh, no, that can't be right. I must have messed something up. So I redid the compression test, 80 again. So it looks like I've got some piston rings which need to be replaced, which is not going to be easy to do. But I'm going to have to do that because I don't want the reed valve chewing away at those rings and then destroying the engine. So hopefully if I can get that sorted out, it will be okay. Hello, SMT. How are you this fine evening? I'm well. How are you? How much does a setup like that cost, roughly? I couldn't say. It's not a cheap thing to set up, but I really have no idea, especially since a lot of the buildings and stuff like that, these were all like purchased back in 2008. Things were a lot cheaper then, and I would also, and then there's a lot of stuff which is used, and used stuff can be all over the place. It really depends on where you get it, and it depends a lot on the seller too. Some people, especially at train shows, are kind of just looking to get rid of stuff, and you'll get it for under kind of the average value. Hobby shops, it's usually about the average value. It really kind of depends on the store and the owner's mood the day they put the prices on. And then eBay is usually just whatever goes, whatever people are willing to pay. I don't know, I see people bidding pretty high for things on eBay. Doesn't stop me from buying stuff off eBay, but I can't say there've been many times where I've really felt like I've got away with an amazing deal. Those cars on the siding, the coaches, the black train went with that. Yeah, the ones over there went with that steam engine. How many Heritage units have you seen? I've seen 2 Heritage units. The first one was in New York. It was one of those New Haven units they have. I can't remember. They look a lot like a P42, but they're a completely different model. And the other one was one of the new Canadian Pacific Heritage units, which I have a video of on YouTube as well. Anyway, we're going to stop this engine. We're going to put something else on after it. I think somebody wanted me to run a BNSF engine, so we can do that. I've gotten some great deals on eBay, domestic in Canada too. Well, I'd say that you're lucky then. What's something strange on your layout? Who are you going to call? Bachman Busters. That's what I should call the series. Somebody was saying, SMT, you need to restore all 4 of those engines in one go. Might be how I do it, but maybe I could call it that, the Bachmann Busters. Yeah, it'd be a good theme. I mean, we are working our way into October. It's probably going to take me a few days to get around to doing that. So that's what we're going to call it. It's going to be called Bachmann Busters, and we're going to bust open these Bachmanns and figure out exactly what's wrong with them, and then I can ship them off back to Larkspur and get my store credit of some amount. I sell stuff on eBay, and it would be impossible to sell a locomotive for $5 free ship and turn a profit. The cheapest stuff over a pound is about $8, also 13% fees. Well, that's just it. Like, this whole $5 engine thing, again, it's like I was saying, I would never see something like that. You might find a $5 blue box at a train show, but on eBay, I mean, that's even an example. You'd pretty much be giving it away. What's the best place to get cheap yet operating locomotives? Probably train stores at this point. I mean, train shows are where the best deals are. But, yeah, train shows are the best because you can usually also ask the people to test the engine, and they're just the cheapest. After that, it would be hobby shops in my books. Now, where's that BNSF engine at? Yeah, hobby shops are a mixed bag, though. I find usually they're cheaper than things on the net, but that's not always the case. I've been to some stores, and it's just like they're even worse than eBay. But there are other stores, like Zitnik Trains in Florida. Like, they had some really decent prices for fine engines and stuff like that. Like, that's a pretty good store. Most of the stores in my area, too, I find are pretty good for selling things at a fair price, even though they also deal on eBay and could make more money. So, yeah, it really just depends on the store. Not in Toronto. No trains for sale in the GTA train shows. How's the Hershey factory layout coming along? Yeah, somebody was asking me that earlier, and there hasn't really been a whole lot of progress on it lately, but I suspect as the weather gets cold and the circumstances change, it's going to start to, progress is going to start to pick up again. DB Tech, welcome. How are you? 060 express set train, please. Express set. I still don't know what the Royal Scot is. I'd be happy to run it. Is it the Cheshire? SMT, not so long ago, I saw a set of Tyco Spirit of 76 F units for eBay on eBay for a reasonable price. Well, how much were they? Get that going there. When you have so many trains that you forgot where you put one. Hope that'll happen to me someday. Bachmann HO trains, welcome. Can you run the black and red steamer that goes with those coaches? Please do it. You said you would run the Hiawatha. I did say I'd run the Hiawatha. I'll still do that. I still don't know what the black and red steamer is, though. Maybe it's 909. I don't know. I mean, it has some red on it. Must be it. SMT, are you going to decorate the layout for Halloween? Maybe a little bit. Make things a little bit more festive. Maybe I'll carve out what they call a jack-o'-lantern. I think that would be nice. Do some stuff there. I don't know. There's something. Yeah, that's what it was. I bought the Addams Family house last fall, and I never got around to assembling it. So I was kind of thinking maybe as a Halloween special, we could build that and paint it up. It's a great movie, and yeah, I feel like it'd be fun to do. And I know exactly where I want to plant the house too. Yeah, it has a red coucher. Yeah, that one, 909. Love it. Okay, yeah, sure, we can run that. Harry Warren, -9. Oh, yeah. Hey, Harrison, I wonder if you could decorate one of your trains for Halloween. Probably so, Nathan, honestly. I just need to find one I'm not too attached to, or a shell that's not in very good shape, and yeah, we could create some sort of a special Halloween train. Hey, SMT, could you please run the big boy with the Go coaches? I would run the Go coaches, but I was trying to run them in the beginning of the stream, and they kept disconnecting. I think there's either a coupler height issue or a problem in my track over there. Nice BNSF Locomotive. Not much of a diesel guy, but I love that paint scheme. Yeah, I do too. I think it's probably one of the best paint schemes out there. Really, really good. Their modern paint scheme's okay, but their original H2 paint scheme, I mean, just look at that. It's so cool. The Addams Family model train scene. I might have a bit of trouble recreating that one, but it would be fun. I could probably do it if I had 2 Bachmann engines. Royal Scotsman 460 Express. Passenger train, good sir, with a maroon blue livery. It's a British locomotive. The Trix twin railway engine? Okay, I think the engine you're referring to is well, the only Scotsman I own, actually. Here it is. It was a 462. The front wheels seem to have popped off, but this one doesn't run anymore. In fact, it hasn't run for probably a good 60-some years, but it would be nice to get it running again. There's a it's a low curved engine. It just needs some help. Anyway, I think we're going to put the Hiawatha on because that's been requested, and then we'll follow that up with the HCW's 909. I just read the description. Model trains for you. Welcome, crude caboose. Nice. No offense, but that's hilarious. What's hilarious? Where do you buy Fox Valley locomotives? I don't know. I got this one as a gift my goodness, over 5 years ago. It was 2013, like 7 years ago. Goodness, time goes fast. I have no idea where it came from. Most hobby shops have Fox Valley items. I don't think they're particularly rare. They're not very cheap either, but I don't think they're very hard to find. SMT, are you going to fix your Flying Scotsman? Well, I'd love to get all of my grandmother's old engines running again, but the thing is that, first of all, they run on AC power, which requires 3 rails, and I've got 2 rails, and they're 00 gauge, so I need to buy a Trix Twin Railway track and a Trix Twin Railway controller. And I'm not quite as good at working on AC locomotives as I am DC engines. They're just a lot more complicated. So yeah, I don't really know what they need, but I have a feeling they're missing parts. So yeah, I want to get them going, but they need a lot more help than most engines do. Anyway, we'll get this one on the track as requested. My hobby shop has almost 0 stock at all. I have to go to Winnipeg to get stuff, and I don't go often. Yeah, it's unfortunate some shops haven't been staying in stock. Larkspur and Merrickville is pretty good, but my other shops, their stock has depleted a little bit. There we go. The blue Flying Scotsman looks more like Gordon than the Flying Scotsman. Nice. Who thinks SMT should do a Scotsman repair special? Scotsman repair special. Well, I just need the tools, the equipment, and the know-how, and we should be in business. Harrison, I see you have Nerf Cat on a train. Yeah, this was a little nifty gifty from David of DB Tech, who I think is in here. And he said I should put Nerf Cat on one of the train cars. So I picked this one, and I don't know, it looks pretty happy on there, honestly. Juju the best. Oh yeah, no problem. Elite Productions. My shop is more of a paint store. They have more Lego and RC cars than trains. Yeah, some hobby shops are like that. Like Hobby House in Ottawa, they're a major model train dealer, but the other half of the store has like model cars and all sorts of stuff. Like they're a full-fledged hobby shop versus a place like Larkspur. Like Larkspur's just a train store through and through. They're nothing else, and the Hobby Center is another hobby shop where they've got, you know, trains it's part of it, but they also have a whole bunch of other things. It's kind of nice when you're, I mean, regular hobby shops are great too. Obviously, I like that they carry trains, but it's sort of nice going to a train store because you know exactly what you're getting into, and there's just going to be a lot more stuff just because that's what they specialize in. Hey Harrison, haven't been on your channel for a fat minute. Oh, you're new here. Yellow Bonnet Productions. I feel like you've been here for a long time. For a fat minute, that makes more sense. It's like this name looks way too familiar. Can you run that little steam engine by the gas station? This? Because the gas station's right there, but there aren't any engines around it, so I think this must be what it is. I can run it, but it goes like a rocket. Could you triple head one steam engine, diesel electric locomotive? I don't know if I have three that it would even coordinate properly. Yeah, I've watched you since you had 1K subs. Okay, long time viewer. DB Tech Simpsons. What is it about the Simpsons? Hey, Harrison hasn't been going on here for a fat second. Pretty good, Waterloo. Harrison, you don't have to do this, but can you run the Hiawatha's together? Nathan, I think it would be really cool to run the Hiawatha's together, but this thing is just such a princess. I don't think I want to risk it. They're from like different planets too. I don't know. This is like some modern prototypical piece of equipment, and this is like some model in the model train world. This thing's somewhat archaic. Do you have any Milwaukee Road Hiawatha coaches? I've got one Hiawatha coach. It's right there. It's a brass car. I managed to buy it for $40, which didn't seem too bad. Need to give it some work. It'd be nice if I could get like 4 more of those. I think I'll have the Hiawatha's consist all set up. Anyway, we're going to now run the HCW's 909 as per the request. SMT mainline, whenever you're going to fix another Hiawatha steam engine. If I ran into another Hiawatha somewhere, that would be fun. I've been here since like 4 or 5K. Yeah. Yeah, the 2016 to 2019 club. Well, anyway, we're going to get these cars right here out, and then we're going to bring them over here, hook them up to the 909, and we'll take them around. Harrison, would you like to do more British or American locomotives? I like British engines, but I don't know. I think I've got more interest in collecting more American stuff. When you need more go-cars come out this summer, you should get 2 so you can have a proper length train. Well, I mean, it would be nice to get more of those go-cars, but it turns out these are apparently worth a ton of money. I had no idea, but one day I was doing a live stream and somebody told me that, and I went on eBay, and they're selling them for like $400, which I guess means those things are worth $100 a piece. Could be just eBay fooling around with prices, though. I don't know. Seems sort of high. Birmingham and Irondale Railfan. Please read my comments. I'll try to read everyone's comments. Sometimes they're a bit sorted out, though. Anyway, I'm just going to put my phone down for a moment here so I can properly pick up the 909. Let's get it all on the track here. Yes, there we are. And, oh, that went well. Oh, Nick the Train Nerd. Most likely eBay inflating prices, making it to $400. I knew the new run cars go for about $80 to $90 each. Well, I guess eBay is fooling around with their prices, but I mean, if those things are worth $80 a pop, that's not that far away from $100 a piece. There we go. Wonderful. You got a super chat. I have to check the super chats. Oh, it's from NEC Rail Videos. Thank you so much for the super chat. I'm just going to go, oh, I'm supposed to, Serenity. Let's go back to the live chat here, see what types of comments. Oh, Wabashed. I had a meeting with Ross Rowland a few weeks ago. He had an amazing time. He and me are good friends now. He told me about an AFT 2.0 plans to use 1614, 4501, 630, 4014, 3751, 2926, and more. Well, that's cool. Do you have any 440 steam locomotives? Probably got a few. Also, welcome to the channel, Dominic. I want to see the progress on the Hershey factory. Well, I'll show you the Hershey factory. Again, like I was saying earlier, there's not much progress on it, but the next kind of phase is going to be, well, first of all, just putting all the fine details on it because it's pretty stripped down right now. Going to get those windows finished up, build the visitor's entrance, finish the back, and we should be in business. I've been inspired to work with my dad's layout after watching your videos. Thank you. Really do appreciate that. That was a small treat. You know you're having a bad day when your Bachmann locomotive blows up in flames. Yeah, or your Tyco. I mean, some people have seen the video where I was running that old Conrail engine and it just started burning, and there I looked through the window and you could see the light. And then it just smoked out. Do you still have the 9-volt sound card? Yes, I do. SMT, could you run an F7 Reading Northern? Just picked up 2 freight cars. I don't have any Reading Northern. I've got a Reading engine. It's not mine, though. In fact, I'm supposed to fix it, but I haven't got around to that. Harrison, did you see the new Canadian National Heritage units? If not, check them out. They really outdid themselves. I've seen some of them. I saw the Grand Trunk one. That was looking pretty nice. I think somebody might have posted them all on Instagram, actually. They looked really good. I'm quite, yeah, it was my friend Nick. He sent me a photo of them all. And, yeah, I think they did a really good job with that. It's nice that CN's doing that. SMT, can you please do a video of running all your diesel locomotives? I'd love to see it. I might, the steam engine video, that was quite well received by everyone. A diesels video would be a lot of fun. The only thing is that my diesel collection is much larger than my Steam collection, so I think it would be probably about a 2-hour long video. Hey, SMT, what's the best place to get... Okay, I've already answered that comment. Sometimes they repeat through. I don't know why. Can you please run the big boy? We can run it again later. We'd already run that one, though. So if anybody has any requests for things that haven't been run, I'd be happy to run them if they work. Hey, SMT, can you run the CSX freight train? Some little something for the New York viewers since CSX runs place my math classroom at NS. Never gets old. Yeah, absolutely. We can do that. I'll go get the CSX engine. Oh, we got a super chat from East Penn Railfan Productions. Thank you very much. Greetings from Kennett Square, PA. We are huge fans of your videos and love the work you do with model trains. Keep up the great work. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Yeah, we're gonna try to get this CSX locomotive going here. There we are. Do you have any switching operations? Not at the moment, since my freight yard is not complete. At some point, I've been intending to rebuild that for a long time, but I've just haven't gotten around to it. Which locomotive is your most detailed? Probably this one right here. I mean, this thing, it's, first of all, it's probably the most expensive engine I own, but like, they did a really good job. It's quite, it's probably the most rivet counter engine of my collection. Quite a bit of detailing on that one right there. SMT, watching you take engines off your shelf gives me an anxiety attack and a half. Yeah, I kind of can't blame you, considering I did drop one last year that way, but I don't know. I don't really see another way to store them easily. Be careful, you almost dragged a few locos off the shelf. I didn't drag any engines off the shelf. A tender snagged on the back, but I do appreciate people's concern. I got a Bachmann Yard Boss starter set for my birthday. Well, that's fun. Harrison, what make is the CSX locomotive? The only reason I ask is because my CSX locomotive is an Athearn ready-to-roll locomotive. It's a Bachmann Spectrum 2nd generation. I don't know a crazy amount about it. I generally bought it just because I was quite surprised at how cheap it was. I always wanted a CSX engine, and yeah, I was at the store and they were getting rid of them all for $30 a pop. I think they were originally worth like 120 or something like that, which for an engine of its type seemed pretty good. It's fared pretty well for a Bachmann too. I find usually the Bachmann stuff's a bit of a mixed bag, but I will say that thing has been pretty reliable. These still getting used to these foreign couplers. I think I need to something like this. SMT, would you rather only have one loco of your choice or 100 Bachmann engines? Oh darn, that's really tough. I think I would go with the 100 Bachmann engines because there's more of a variety, but I mean, it really depends. If it's 100 Bachmann engines or the Hiawatha, I would definitely choose the Hiawatha. But if it's 100 Bachmanns just compared to a regular loco of my choice, I'll go with the 100 Bachmanns. I don't know if I need to lift this thing off the track or something. Hold on a minute. I'm just going to try to do this with... There we go. Just needed both hands free there. Whoop. Is there a Discord server? Yes, there is. I don't know if any of the operators are still here, but somebody might post a link to it. Good to see these are rolling better. Harrison, could you do a switcher tug of war? And 5 cars are the rope. Well, the only way I could do that would be with 2 DCC engines. I don't know. If we were putting 2 old junkers against each other, it might not be too bad, but I don't know. Tug of war is really not going to be great for any engine, especially the motors. I think there was something I was supposed to run. There was a CSX engine, yes. I have short-term memory issues. There we are. How many BNSF engines do you own? I have 2, the Dash 9, and then I've also got one of those Bachmann number 301, is it GP40 maybe? I don't know. Some sort, but anyway, it's quite a common engine. It's actually served me pretty well, though. I quite like that Bachmann. Hey SMT, would you rather have 1 train set of your choice or have 200 Rivarossis? Oh, I'd take the 200 Rivarossis. Not everybody likes the Rivarossi engines because they seem to require a lot of tuning, but I mean they're cool, and Rivarossi made a lot of really nice models. So yeah, I'd be thrilled to get 200 Rivarossis. Wouldn't that would be a time right there. Do you have any problems with dust, and if so, how do you handle it? Yeah, dust has been a bit of an issue. I haven't taken care of it perfectly. You can actually see there's some dust on these buildings. I found the best way to take dust off of models and things like that is to get a very soft paintbrush. You can buy them at like your dollar store. And just very gently brush around all of the little details. Like you can pull your buildings off, you tip them sideways and you just dust them off. For grass and other things like that on the ground, if you glue it down really well, like I vacuum this grass and it's glued so well to the layout, it doesn't pull it off. The other option is that you can just vacuum up your grass and replace your grass every few years. So, yeah, and then, yeah, like I was saying, a small brush is good for, like, that works for engines as well. So if you have a lot of engines sitting on a shelf like I do and you want to just dust them off, just take a little brush, go around the details, and they'll be looking good. Can I request you run an F7? Yeah, absolutely. I don't know which one I'd pick, but we've got a fair amount of those around here, so I'm sure we could find one that would work well. SMT, what if I told you I've been planning on getting every single paint scheme that Lifelike has made in the GP line? That's a really interesting goal. I don't know if anybody's ever done that before. Frankly, I think I should get into collecting Lifelike engines because I like them and they're also dirt cheap. I mean, Team Lifelike, right? Compressed air cans from Diorama works well for dust as well. I haven't tried those before. That's not a bad idea. Oh, it looks like we got another super chat. Let's have a look. Christian K 2008. Hey SMT, last week I discovered your channel and I've been watching a ton of your live streams. And you have gotten me into the hobby of model trains. Thank you. Well, I can't tell you how happy it makes me to read a comment like that. It's a good hobby that I almost stepped out of at one point, and I would have missed out on so much if I had. So the fact that people are saying this channel has brought them into the hobby, it's really quite special to me. So thank you for that. Hey, SMT, would you rather have 1 train of your choice or if... Okay, that's a repeat. SMT, how many trains do you run on your set? Usually up to 3 I'd put on this controller, but I don't really want to exceed that too often. I mean, we've done some crazy things where run like every 040 in my collection, but I don't know, never ends well. Hey SMT, last month I bought a Mantua Canadian Pacific 462, which didn't work. Do you recommend everything to make it work? Okay, so if it's a Mantua, I find that sometimes those the old Tyco Mantuas just kind of lock up. I mean, they're not terribly modern engines. If you have a local hobby shop that services them, just take it there. They'll probably be able to fix it. They're very well built engines, but like anything, they need work. And I find what happens, I've seen this happen on several of them, is that the lubricants just dry up and it seizes the whole unit. So that's where I would look. And if you're really brave, of course you can disassemble it, clean all the parts and relubricate it. But if you're new to that kind of stuff, I don't think it's something I'd recommend, just because it can be a little bit... I mean, taking apart an engine for the first time is not an easy thing to do, and Mantuas, as far as steam engines go, are not too bad, actually, to work on, but steam engines are way harder than diesels. If you haven't taken apart anything before, I would start with like a lifelike diesel, probably. The people that ask for the Acela need to remember the fateful night of the Acela nightmare. I mean, the time I sent the Acela for a flight off the layout. SMT, the newest locomotive in my collection is a Bachmann Thomas starter set. My oldest is the 1800s. If I recall recently, your newest, in terms of what's newest and in terms of what's being produced. SMT was in the hobby for a while, but lost it because my first set HO locomotive I got until my N scale. Can't stop myself from buying everything. My train table turned into a nightstand and a big one. Train table as a nightstand, that's pretty cool. Hey SMT, this weekend I'm going to an outdoor train show. An outdoor train show, that's interesting. Yeah, at least they're still doing them. Hey SMT, my newest... Okay, I've already got another repeat comment here. Hey SMT, you should buy an Athearn RTR DCC sound. Best budget loco. Athearn RTR. I guess that must be a modern Athearn. I haven't really touched a whole lot of those before, but... I don't know, maybe I should buy one just for experiment's sake. What oil and lubricant do you use? I use 3. One of them is called Conductor Lube, which is for kind of like contacts, bearings, things like that. But the other thing I use a lot of, I'll see if I can find both of them. It's kind of like a variety there. This is probably the most common oil I use. It's Labelle 102. It's not the cheapest oil out there, but this is really good for gears and bearings and things like that. And the other one I use is Labelle 106 for the worm gears and stuff like that. I'm not sponsored, that's just what I use, but I find they work all right. There are synthetic lubricants too, which supposedly last longer. Yeah, they seem to get the job done, which is really all I'm looking for. I always mix the oil with the grease, though. Makes it perform a lot better. SMT, this is your captain speaking. We've reached full altitude. You can now undo your seatbelts and feel free to walk around the passengers. But this is a train. Yeah, that would have been what it was like on the Acela on January 3rd, 2019. Oh, there's the Canadian film stick. Yeah, I still need to paint up the Canadian film stick. Hey, SMT, I got a Rivarossi recently, and when I got it, it did not run. Do you have any tips on fixing it? Not running Rivarossi. If it's one of those ones from the 70s, check to make sure all the tender, like the wire that... Make sure the tender is working properly, and the way you can test that is if you have a little light, you can stick one wire in the attachment for the tender and one on the rail, see if it's drawing power. I find those are usually a source of problems for the 70s Rivarossi engines. Could be all sorts of other things, but that's one thing that kind of comes to mind. SMT, how did you lay ballast? I'm going to do mine tomorrow. I did a video. Now, this was for Bachman Easy track. I don't know if I've done one for regular track, but anyway, basically, what you kind of want to do roughly is you just put stream and ballast. Put your ballast in the middle of your track. Then you use a brush and you kind of dust it off, and it will fall onto the sides. And then you kind of just keep brushing until you get down to the ties. And then to get it looking a lot cleaner, to get the ballast off the ties in the track, you take the kind of arm of your brush and you just tap the rails. And what it will cause is the track will vibrate, and it will actually vibrate the ballast right off. And any leftover pieces of ballast will fall right into place. Then you take some rubbing alcohol, you spray that over top with a little spritzer. And you add some watered down, like Elmer's glue or what have you, and secures it in place. The alcohol is really important though, because it breaks the surface tension and it allows the glue to sink. Otherwise, the glue will kind of just bead up and it won't work properly. Looks like we got another super chat. I'm going to read what that is. Christian K 2008. In your opinion, what is the most reliable company? Also, can you run any switcher of your choice? Absolutely. Most reliable company, I don't know for modern manufacturers, but I will say that for if you're buying used model trains, I find the most common budget engines you can buy, and possibly the most reliable out there, are the old Athearn Blue Box engines. They're not terribly complicated. They're great engines. They're all-wheel drive, so you're not going to have issues with pulling capacity and stuff like that. I find they perform pretty decently for their age. There's a lot to like about them, but more than anything, I just find they're really reliable engines. It's very rare you see those things break. And even if they do, they're so common that parts are really easy to find. So, yeah, that's it. You can always, too, if you're a beginner and you don't know how to find an Athearn Blue Box engine, one thing that I love showing people is that almost all Athearn Blue Box engines have these little holes on the bottom. That's not a perfect example because it's doesn't look like all of them, but let me find one here. Like this is a Blue Box. It's got these 4 motor mounting little nylon grips there. So you just flip the engine over. If it looks like that, you can pretty much already tell it's a Blue Box. And yeah, they're very tough little engines. Highly recommend. You can buy them for as low as like 20 bucks. So yeah, if you want a decent, reliable engine, it's not going to break the bank, that's where I'd sink my money. Now, as for finding switcher engines, I think I'm going to run this. Where can I find a replacement headlight for an Athearn GP35? It depends if it's a modern. If it's a modern one, I wouldn't know what to say. If it's an old Blue Box one, though, most hobby shops I've seen replacements for. But the truth is you can kind of just chuck in any light. You just need, if you have a soldering iron, you can solder it in there and get it going again. That's what I've done with a fair amount of my old Blue Boxes. Can you run a Union Pacific? Sure. So we'll let that run around a bit. I'm also going to look for this, which is also a Blue Box. Has there ever been a crash of an SD70 into the Ace supermarket? I don't think so. I don't recall anything crashing into the Ace supermarket. It might have happened once. I think the more dramatic one is I used to have a different house here, and it actually got knocked into the ravine. That was kind of epic. Unfortunately, it also kind of destroyed my bridge a bit there, but I think that's probably the most intense one. Ace is the place where you buy an SD70. Okay, that joke went right over my head. I think because you know it's an SD70 ACE. Nice. I was wondering why it was specifically an SD70. I was like, why would an SD70? I don't even own an SD70. Why would that crash into the Ace? Well done. What's the vid or stream called where you crash the Acela? I'm very interested in seeing this. The live stream I don't think is on the net anymore, but there's a video called I think it's called My Acela is Cursed or something like that. Search up SMT mainline Acela, you'll probably find it. And in that I kind of tell the story of the Acela and how that was in fact not the first negative thing to happen with it. But I also included the footage of it flying off the layout, so there's that. Hi SMT, I was wondering, do you have any Hornby engines, and if so, what's your thoughts on them? These running sessions are really calming, keep them up. I'm glad to hear that. I do have one working Hornby engine now. I don't know a crazy amount about Hornby, other than the information I've learned from European modelers. They seem like a decent company, but I haven't had a ton of personal experience, so I think, yeah, they seem like kind of a middle of the road kind of company. Decent products, decent prices. They have some stuff that's pretty cheap. I'll give them credit for that too. SMTR/Woo show, we're still doing that, eh? Ace is the place where you buy an Ace SD70 ACE. What about an ES44 ACE? Oh, there we are. I'm painting my old Bachmann F40 PH into a Kool-Aid F40 so I can smash it through walls. Well, I don't know. Somebody was suggesting that I build a Lego wall and I could drive my Rapido one through there. But I don't know. I've broken 25 engines this year. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm not sure if you know, but Lifelike made more than 10 paint schemes. I wasn't aware of that. Coke or Pepsi? Personally, I'm team Coke, but I'm in Quebec, and if I go to a fast food joint there and I'm having like some fries or something, I think I'm gonna lean for the Pepsi here, just so you know, it's a full experience, right? Were you cursing when the Acela Express... Yes, I was swearing in the Acela Express live stream. I was not very happy about that, so I did say a few colorful words to emphasize the moment. SMT, what happened when the kid threw the Acela at the other kid? Yeah, well, that was the other tragic thing which happened with the poor Acela. We were having like a little Halloween party down here in 2014, and there was this girl. She never been a big fan of her. She was always sort of an annoying one, and I wasn't the only one who thought that. But anyway, there was this kid she, I guess, got into a fight with, and she decided that the best way to exact her revenge was to pick up my brand new Acela Locomotive off the shelf and chuck it at him. So she threw it at him, and he dodged it or something, and it hit the wall and blew into a lot of pieces, sort of like it did when it flew off the layout. It actually, both those things happened in the same corner, which is interesting. But in any case, I was in the garage, and one of my friends comes up and they're like, yeah, so-and-so just threw one of your model trains. And I was like, what? So I came over and there she was, and I was really angry, and she was not having it. And then I did the most brave thing that any kid my age could do, and I went and told her parents. Woo! And yeah, she was in some hot water after that. Her parents, will give them credit, they offered to buy a new one, which was nice, but I just ended up repairing it. But yeah, too bad she didn't throw a Bachman. She did throw a Bachman, but that's one of my nice ones. The Acela needs a break from all the tragedies it's had. Yeah, I know. I don't know what it's been about that engine. I mean, it flying off the layout, that was kind of inevitable. That was just me being pretty dumb. But it getting thrown, I mean, there were like 70 other engines she could have picked up at the time, and she picked that one, of course. And then it also just didn't run right out of the box, so there was that. So those two other things, I'd say those are just bad luck. Can we run the big boy now, please? Suppose so. The Acela isn't cursed. The Canadians who use it are. Yeah, well, I don't know. It still doesn't explain why it didn't start right out of the box. You know, I think it left the factory in China with that curse. We're on the runaway train. I guess we can run that after this. There are several good videos on YouTube how to lay ballast. Yeah, I'm sure there are some good ones out there. Everybody has a bit of a different strategy, but yeah. The curse that then turned into 2020. Yeah, I don't know. I was talking with a friend the other day. I was talking about how at the end of 2019, everybody was like, "Oh yeah, screw this year, screw this decade. Look, let's go on to 2020." And yeah, I don't know. They don't seem so evil anymore, I guess. Anyway, let's get that going there. Hey, SMT, how is your day? Where is your cat, speaking of? Can you run any chassis trains? Yeah, we can run some chassis system stuff. I don't know where my boy Nerf Cat is at the moment. Could go look for him, but he's probably sleeping somewhere. I guess it's not the only thing that left the factory with a curse. What are you implying? You should get a Southern Pacific cab Ford. Yeah, that would be cool. Everything was fine until the Area 51 raid. Oh, of course, that must be the problem. Also, Harrison, for the project on the Discord server, we added a Starbucks for the meme. Well, that's great. Ottawa, just to let you know, though, we can build a Starbucks into the mall because the real one actually had it. I don't know why this happens. The front wheel just kind of comes out of the track. Wasn't the only cursed thing to come out of the factory there. Oh, yeah, I think I get the joke now. Wasn't really a factory, though. Yeah, SMT, can you run the multicolored FP40s? I noticed a particular train on the shelf below directly under those locomotives has a pantograph. Now I'm confused. So there's that. And I also said I was going to run a chassis unit, so we'll get that out. I'm in the mood to set up something kind of diabolical, so I think we're going to have the passenger engines pull this freight train. Oh, yeah. There we are. Wonderful. Wow, the back wheels landed right on the track. There we go. That's about what I'm looking for. Now for that chassis system. Auto 40 time. Yep, that's the spirit. When Via Rail is desperate for money. Can you run any AHM locomotive you like? Yeah. Really been enjoying these streams lately. I'm actually running trains myself while I watch. That's a cool way to watch a live stream. I've done that before. Hopefully once this thing at the moment is over, we can do the project in Wakefield. It would be nice. So we're going to try to find an AHM engine. See how well this thing performs here with the 2 Rapidos. Oh, darn. See, somehow this is sunk into its own shell. And then I try to pull it off and it just pops it. It just takes the wheels off. Oh, this engine. See, and now if I try to put those back on, it's just going to sink right back in. Okay. There we go. You guys like my fancy weight system? Just chuck random pieces of metal you have laying about the layout into the shell. It does help performance. Oh, we got a super chat. Zoo Tycoon Lord. I used to pick up semi-trailer load from Hershey's from the main plant in Hershey's and delivered them all over New England. No Canada, though. Wow. That's interesting. It's kind of the first story I've heard related to the Hershey company. I think at the time, Hershey at one point only had their factories in Pennsylvania, and then they opened the Hershey Smith Falls location, which was that one, and it was actually the very first location to ever be opened outside of Pennsylvania, solely for the Canadian market. I get tire weights from the tire place for my trains. That's a really good idea because they just chuck those things out. I was at a auto mechanics school, and so they just had a big bin after they were done with the weights. They would just chuck them all in the trash. So I guess I wired that backwards or something, because it seems to want to go a different direction, but at least we know it still runs. Is that the same CN engine that started smoking? Yes, it sure is, except now it's got a proper motor in it. It's actually the one I stuck a... Well, I can show it to you, actually, if I just do that. It's got one of those fancy eBay $4 5-pole, skew-wound 5-pole motors in it. And it actually doesn't run too bad with this in it. Fortunately, it seems to only want to go backwards just because of how I've got it wired, but, well, you can see that's not bad. Now I've just got to get it because it's about to have a head-on with that. Can you run a train that connects around the entire oval of the layout? I don't know if I can build one that long, but tell you what, I'll try to get this whole lot behind the behind those freight cars. And this is going to be a really over-the-top train. David Z to G-Skill, welcome, how are you? Anyway, all we need to do is figure that out. So we'll stop this. And then... Darn. Those are both knuckle. That is no coupler. Unless, of course, we did something even worse. And we took this. This is going to be this is not going to be a good train, but it will be a long one, so. I will cry. Get Rapido's dome car on there. Oh, you know what? Heck, we've gotten this far. We're going full out tonight with this particular train. Get in there. And the LRC cars. Well, if I can find them, I guess we'll stick those on there too. I'll cry because no long train. What are you talking about? This is going to be a really long train. Well, the coupler height at least looks to be about the same height there. And now we just flip this around. Have you checked your P.O. box recently? Not for a while there, because I got that cold and... Yeah, but I probably should. Say this train is very heavy. This is going to be a real testament to Rapido power if they can pull this thing. Anyway, here we go. Oh, damn, look at that. It's doing it. Well, this looks like about an average day at Via Rail. Oh, these are struggling though. Yeah. Nice. Do you have any yard slugs? You mean those ones where the top part of the engine's kind of gone? Got to keep it real on the SMT show. That's the spirit, Ottawa. It needs the Baby Ruth Chug Chug boxcar. Well, I don't even know where I'm going to manage to plant that in there, but I don't know. I feel like at this point we've gone past the point of no return. It's either we go full out or some other outcome. I don't even know where the Baby Ruth Chug Chug boxcar is these days, though. So I used to keep it under the mountain, but then I cleaned up the layout one day, and yeah. Where the heck is it? Cleaned up the layout. That's a good joke. See, I feel like this is actually going to be the beginning of even more trouble, because the thing is that this thing is a lot lighter than those other cars. So the second we go into a corner... That's not good. Okay. But at least we got some rockin' tunes going now while we negotiate around the layout. Okay, everybody. Cross your fingers. Yeah, the Via Rail train that shouldn't but could. Okay, now this is starting to grind my gears a bit. Why did that just become disconnected? Caboose with the floodlight at the end. Oh, no. Okay, I actually can't plant that one at the end because the floodlight caboose, I'm pretty sure, has horn hook couplers. It's also disappeared. Yeah. These don't even look to be really off in coupler height, which is something I find kind of weird. I just don't know if this thing can even handle the corners. That's in bold 77. That's for the new couplers. Nice. Thank you for the super chat. Okay, well, let's just hope these old ones hold up long enough for this thing to, like, I don't know, get part of the way around the layout or something. Yeah, we're just going to go full out, full power. Wow, this is interesting. Okay, yeah, the new coupler fund is going to come in handy in the not-so-distant future. I kind of feel like this thing's maybe the cause of the problem. We're going to try putting it somewhere else. Sometimes that works. If you just move cars around. No one gets it but our generation. I don't get it. Is there a joke I've missed? Aww. She's breaking apart. Yeah, that one goes right over my head. I'm giving her all she's got, Captain. Well, that's a Star Trek reference. Okay, looks like we're gonna have to get that on. I think that you might need to go bankrupt with all this rolling stock. Yeah, I don't know. Yes, as well as all the other commenters. Okay, that's good. Okay, that looks good. I think it's going to be okay now. Leave it to something else like the Bombardier cars to come apart. Okay, we're moving again. Well, this is going well. Oh, well, okay, I wasn't expecting that. Of all the things to become disconnected, honestly, this would have been my last guess. Okay, let's have another go at that. Things were going well for a second there. Most prototypical consist I've ever seen. I agree, Ottawa. Like I said, another day at Via Rail. Oh, no. Okay, that's way over the top. Look, this derailed. Those disconnected, and then the other Via engine went running off. What is going on? Wow. Okay. It's the curse. Gremlins, I tell you. Oh, goodness. Here at Via, we transport everything from everywhere. Yep. I think if I have any other engines which are really good pullers. You really need to redo that crossing. Yeah, it doesn't look very good. Okay, I forgot about the... Oh, I just got a good idea. Well, it's not a good idea, but it will make things more interesting. These engines are pretty well speed matched. And if we put one on the back, there'll probably be like less strain throughout the train because, you know, part of it's like a push and pull system. You got power on both sides instead of just one. And now, see, when nonsense like this happens, it will keep moving, which is all we really need it to do. So let's do that. Like how the coupler failed instantly. Please rail fan this train. Well, I'll try to if we can get it moving for long enough too. I don't know, it looks like there's some shady stuff going on over there, but yeah, you'll be okay. Oh wow, it actually linked all the way through. I can feel the engine pulling on the other side. Okay, this might go okay. Kool-Aid DPU. Oh yeah, oh yes, we do have a DPU on this train. Okay, I trust that this is gonna work long enough for me to do some rail fanning. Oh, darn it, this thing is still flipped around. I forgot about this. Okay, well, we got the train approaching. Number 6429. the midday freight, followed by the midday passenger / commuter service. And we got the LRC cars approaching. Milepost 38. Looks like we got a bit of a mid-train derailment. Oh. Yeah, also I need to flip that engine around. There are many problems with this train, but that one's too bad. Okay, we're just gonna hope that the Bombardier cars derail themselves going over the switch. Oh, I think we got one back. Hey, it worked. Wow. Okay. Now, quickly before something else happens. Okay, folks, we're at milepost 38, watching 6429 go past as the mid-train DPU goes by. We've also got the midday passenger service, midday candy service, Via Rail's local freight service, Via Rail's exclusive service, Go Transit service, and we finish that up with the mid-train DPU. And that's a good day on the SMT sub. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my Railfan channel called Harry's Rail Fanning. Oh, okay, I guess, okay, we're back on the sub, and got the second mid-train number 6429 coming through. It's a Via Telus wrap midday freight coming through here. Okay, there we go, and there's the end of the typical day on the sub. Subscribe to Harry Strain's Rail Fanning. Well, I don't believe it, folks. The train's actually made it around an entire lap without derailing. I don't know how this is working. The miracle that's keeping this thing alive. We somehow need to get it. We somehow need to extract it from this train and apply it to the rest of the whole layout and the channel, and things might be okay. Is it really working? Working hard or hardly working? You tell me. No defects. Yeah, the defect detector would be very happy. Full speed. I don't know. I don't know how much I want to test my luck with this thing. It's going a bit too well. SMT, put the LRC locomotive in the middle. The weight will be distributed better, so it won't have so much strain on the go cars. I don't know. I think with this one I'm going to apply the rule, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. What's the Franken train going through here? I don't know. Everybody set me up to it. That's 17 cars and 2 engines. Yeah, 17 cars, but most of those are passenger cars, which would, I don't know how many feet this would equal in real life, but In Unstoppable, I think he said he had a 39 car consist, and he said that that's a half a mile long, but those are freight cars. And the passenger ones are probably 1 1/4. So yeah, I don't know how long this would be in real life, but pretty long train, I'm sure. Can you please run a trolley on the main line? Surprised the couplers are holding. Me too. What is this monstrosity? Good question, human being. Would you ever consider DCC? Absolutely, I have DCC. It's right there. Well, I think I'm gonna let this go by. Honestly, it is getting kind of late, and I should probably finish off the stream soon. But I want to thank everyone for joining in. David, try making Snowpiercer. Well, this is probably not too far off from Snowpiercer on a budget. Ooh, another super chat. Thank you, SMT, for making my request. This is good. I tried my best. Thank you so much, Kristen K. I appreciate it. Have a great night, everyone. Oh, yeah, I thought it had disconnected. I just forgot that the trolley's on there and is oddly speed coordinated with the LRC. Not LRC, but FP40 Rapido engines. Total axle, milepost 66, 420, end of transmission. Please tell me I'm not delusional and this is live. Yes, it is live, Stefan Menzies. I was kind of about to finish it off, I hate to say. Also, I'm pretty sure the Bombardier car's just derailed. Yeah, let's see how this turns out. Oh, my goodness, it's self-corrected. I guess the coupler funds are out the door. Exactly, we can apply the inflated budget to pay out dividends to our stakeholders, whoever those are. It be self-correcting itself. Yeah, it seems to be the case. We need to make more things like this in life that just kind of repair themselves. It's a self-oiling machine, or I don't know, something like that. We'll get it figured out. The trolley was keeping it going. I think so. It was providing it a little boost. Anyway, we're going to stop it at the station because I think we've tested our luck enough this evening with this train. And we'll finish it off on a high note. There we go, last tumble. Anyway, that's going to be it for this live stream. Thank you all so much for joining in. It has been a lot of fun. And I'm glad this whole train worked out. I think it was pretty good. Anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great evening. Do it like this because it looks better.